If you're not aware or missed the news story, we learned last year through a confidential 48-page memo that George Soros, through his organization Media Matters, plans to silence all online Trump supporters by 2020. This is not particularly new information. If you've been following any online personalities, you've seen a giant move to deplatform anyone who's on right-leaning for the last 4 years. Fact of the matter is, legacy media, but moreover just cultural Marxists in general, learned how little control they really have over the population. And as long as the internet is allowed to be free, they will not be able to hold a monopoly over all news. Again, none of this is new information if you've been following the online sphere for any length of time. The left has been waging an all-out war, and I'm sure we can all name tons of YouTubers, tons of Twitter accounts that have been demonetized or outright banned. This is only going to intensify as the next presidential election nears. This memo is important specifically because it discusses how big tech companies like Google, Facebook, and Twitter, all of which are now openly censoring users' accounts today, will be recruited and called upon to conclude with Soros and the Media Matters agenda in order to manipulate the political landscape. This has become the status quo, where dissenting opinions will be minimally removed and at worst doxxed and then fired and have your life ruined. It's reached the point where the document claims that far-left groups in general have access to raw data from Facebook, Twitter, and other social media sites so they can systematically monitor and analyze this unfiltered data. This is no longer the CIA or the NSA, who you might argue might still hold some sort of patriotic feelings. No, these are independent, ideological, cultural Marxists who want to see us broke, dead, your kids raped and brainwashed, and they think it's funny. And George Soros is one of the most subversive elements to our republic currently. The moment they finally get the censorship they want, that they finally impose their control, the game's over. And we'll be right back to feudalism. Mind you, much more pleasant feudalism. They'll keep us in a state of hedonistic bliss. Because fundamentally, the last 60 years, which mind you has been the biggest economic boom in the history of the world, the last 60 years, there are groups who are working tirelessly to return the world to feudalism. They want their serfs back. Big question is, why is George Soros so concerned with the online world? Well, I think it's because fundamentally you can buy CNN, you can buy news coverage, you can buy ads, you can buy the smaller newspapers, you can buy any of these people, right? They're very public. They have audiences. There's a whole procedure built into this sort of business model. But where online voices change that, well, you can't buy a random Twitter. You can't buy a random YouTuber that has, let's say, 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 Twitter followers. It just would be impossible. And the moment you do buy them, which I think they've probably attempted to, people can jump ship very easily because there's so many different YouTubers, there's so many different voices. Nothing is tying you to one person in particular, whereas you can't just go start a new CNN. At minimum, you're looking at 5 to 10 years to even become relevant on the national stage at all. This is exactly why Soros and Media Matters is targeting the online right, because they know they can't compete. But now, at least we know about it. Of course, we had theories before. I'm sure you all are familiar with Control Blue and the Reddit purges and so on and so forth. But now we know that they're not going to stop. They're going to keep hitting every major social network until they have complete control again, like legacy media used to have. Regardless of that, we're going to do our part. We're going to keep following this story. We're going to keep reporting on Soros. We're going to make people aware of how he's subverting the republic. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment below. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a great New Year. I will be making videos after Christmas, but I imagine I'll be a little busy over the next few days. Again, thank you. Have yourself a wonderful holidays.